happened. We know that approximately 41 people were taken to the hospital with varying injuries, 39 of them from the plane, 2 of them firefighters on board that fire truck. The NTSB, the National Transportation Safety Board, is launching a GO team. They will lead this investigation to look into the situation as to how this happened, why this happened. One thing that's very clear from the air traffic control audio is it was one controller who appeared to be handling an emergency with another airplane as well as this situation. So this all started, Vlad, actually before the Air Canada flight touchdown. A United flight aborted its takeoff because of a warning light in the cockpit. They then reported an odor on board the airplane, declared an emergency. That's why the fire truck was trying to cross the runway to respond to that plane. There were reports of flight attendants had been sick. They checked in with the air traffic control tower, as is policy when they're going to cross a runway. They were cleared to do so mistakenly. In fact, we hear the controller after the incident telling another pilot that he messed up. That pilot said he thought he did everything he could have done in that situation. One of the things the NTSB will want to understand, was this controller alone in that air traffic control tower? Why was he juggling so many things? It was late at night, but we saw controller workload factor into the mid-air collision in Washington, D.C. That had been the focus of conversation around aviation safety for over a year now. Vlad?
It's such a unique confluence of events. You've got that plane that is experiencing an issue, which then sends the truck out there, the air traffic controller realizing that there's an aircraft coming in. Now, according to the reporting that you did earlier this morning, it appears that the plane was coming in and had already landed, was going about 24 miles an hour. So not incredibly fast, but at that point with the truck crossing the runway, is there anything at all the pilots could have done?
There's not a lot they can do, Vlad. They're braking, and it's not. They're not going fast enough to take off again. And this isn't like a car where they can maneuver easily. So they have limited options. One pilot I was talking to early this morning wondered if the fire truck could have seen the plane coming. And we know there was rainy conditions. It was late at night. So certainly one of the things the NTSB is going to try to understand was what did the fire crew, what did they see? What did they know about the proximity of that airplane? But for those pilots, it doesn't look like there was a whole lot they could do as they're trying to slow this airplane down.
Yeah, and we see images that we just showed to our viewers there of the front nose of that aircraft absolutely crushed, destroyed. There you see it there on your screen, a horrific incident. Chris Van Cleve reporting for us this morning. Chris, thank you as always. Just to recap, 2 people were killed after an Air Canada jet hit an emergency vehicle crossing the runway at LaGuardia Airport late last night. Dozens were hurt. LaGuardia will be closed until at least 2 p.m. this afternoon. That's according to authorities. We'll have much more on this story coming up on CBS Morning starting at 7 a.m. Coverage will continue now on your local news and on our streaming channel, CBS News 24/7. This has been a CBS News special report. I'm Vladimir Dutip in New York.
Money Watch is your no-nonsense guide to taking control of your finances, where I offer practical, real-world advice with no jargon and no judgment. I'm Jill Schlesinger. Listen to Money Watch wherever you get your podcasts.
I'm Major Garrett in Washington, inviting you to The Takeout. Politics, policy, people, and pop culture served up weeknights. What's on the menu? Plenty. The day's happenings with curiosity, informality, and humor. It's serious discussion, but we do not take ourselves too seriously.